S. Donaldson, Regional Mathematics Coordinator, Region 3. Directors of the Regional Educational Services from Regions 1 through to 7, pleasant morning to you all. All other coordinators, cluster-based specialists, coaches, planning committees, staff members, principals, teachers, finalists, pleasant morning to you all. It is my pleasure to be here with you, and as you'll notice, persons are still coming in, so we want to give opportunity for them to come in. But as they are coming, I'd invite you now to stand for the playing of the national anthem. Thank you. You may be seated. I love to hear the anthem, don't you? It's really a powerful anthem. You may have heard me say in my introductory remarks that we're at the 8th staging of the National Mathematics Teacher of the Year Awards ceremony. But you'll recall that we started in 2013. So if this year is 2023 and it is the 8th staging, you think we're missing a few years, aren't we? We are missing 2 years. You are correct. Your math is correct. We would have been at 10 years this year. But due to the COVID-19 pandemic, unfortunately, we haven't been able to gather like this. So it's good to see you. Touch somebody and say it's good to see you in person. And it's really, really lovely to have you all together with us this morning. I'm going to invite to invoke the presence of the Lord this morning, Mrs. Winsome Meeks Williams. She is the Regional Mathematics Coordinator from Region 7. She'll be offering a word of prayer, followed by the illustrious Dr. Kassan Troop, Chief Education Officer Acting, who will bring her welcome.
Good morning, colleagues. Shall we stand for prayer? Heavenly Father, we look to you this morning because you are God. We look to you this morning and we thank you for your faithfulness. We thank you for your mercies. We thank you, God, because of who you are. As we're gathered here today, Lord, to celebrate excellence, Lord, we know that without you, nothing is possible. So we use this opportunity to invite your presence here with us. We want to thank you, Lord. We thank you for those who have journeyed from far and near to be here this morning. We thank you for journeying mercies. As we go through today's proceedings, we pray for your guidance. We pray, Lord, that everything that will be said and done here today will be done according to the glory and the honor of your name. We pray that everything will bring glory to your name. We thank you for hearing us this morning. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
As Mrs. Forbes Hall is coming, just a slight correction to the program that you may have before you. Mrs. Sophia Forbes Hall, Deputy Chief Education Officer Acting, will be bringing the welcome. Please make her feel welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. No, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is indeed my pleasure to have been tasked with the awesome responsibility of welcoming all of you to our Mathematics Teacher of the Year 2023 Awards ceremony. I'm happy to see all of you. And so on behalf of the Ministry of Education, I want to welcome our own Chief Education Officer, Dr. Kesan Troop. Put your hands together for her. Now, Dr. Tamika Benjamin is a very special lady. Without Dr. Tamika Benjamin, there's no math. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with me? Yes. So the synonyms, Dr. Tamika Benjamin and mathematics, go together. And so I wanted you to join me in extending a special welcome to her this morning. Jamaica National is indeed very, very significant in relation to this activity today. They are, of course, our primary sponsors. And so we want to welcome Mrs. Sandra Jones, Manager Public Sector Engagement of the Jamaica National Bank. Put your hands together for her, ladies and gentlemen. So we just heard from Mrs. Winsome Meeks, Regional Mathematics Coordinator, Region 7. Let's welcome Mrs. Meeks. Mr. Horace Donaldson, Regional Mathematics Coordinator, Region 3. Where's Mr. Donaldson? I haven't seen him in a while. Let's welcome him. All our directors of regional educational services for our 7 regions, we want to welcome them. At this time, I also want to welcome other representatives of the regions. I am seeing a few of our senior education officers and, of course, our education officers. I think you should stand, though, so that you are identified and specially welcome. Excellent. So we're seeing Representative Mr. Kelly, Region 6. Region 2, we're seeing Mrs. Blackwood Grant. Welcome them again, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, our hard-working mathematics team, our other regional mathematics coordinators and cluster-based mathematics specialists and mathematics coaches, could you stand to be acknowledged, please? These are our foot soldiers. These are the soldiers who say up, up, up for mathematics. Without them, we would not have been able to get it done. Put your hands together again for them. Very importantly, our leadership of our schools in the form of our principals. Let's welcome our principals, ladies and gentlemen. Our teachers, let's welcome them. Our parents and our students, lovers of mathematics. Am I correct? Are our students lovers of mathematics? Come on, help me out better than that, man. Our students are indeed lovers of mathematics. Importantly, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome our awardees. Could you stand to be acknowledged, please? All our awardees, we want to welcome you. You're indeed special. And so we've taken time out today to show you how special you are and how important you are to the mathematics drive in the Ministry of Education and Youth, Jamaica. Today is promised to be an awesome day. And so I want to invite all of you to sit back and relax and have fun as we have a lot in store to share with you today. Have a great day, everyone, and God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Forbes Hall, for that welcome. I hope you're feeling welcomed, and we really are excited to have you here with us today. Mathematics is indeed quite an important discipline to us in the Ministry of Education and Youth. It is quite something that we have emphasized over many years, and we are always privileged to recognize the educators who continue to share with us the excellence that we expect. So to our finalists, to our awardees, please accept our sincere congratulations, and I do hope you are excited to find out this year's winner. At this time, it is my pleasure to welcome a group of persons who have been preparing, getting ready to share with us. This is the St. Catherine High School Choir who will be doing an item for us. I'm going to ask you to welcome them now. While they're coming, let me tell you just a little bit about the Teacher of the Year competition. So as I indicated before, it was launched in 2013, and it's designed to select from among a pool of secondary and primary teachers the individual that is deemed to be the Mathematics Teacher of the Year. And so this teacher is selected not because they look good, and all of them look good. You saw them, don't they? Really looking good this morning. It's not only because of that. Here are the criteria as the choir comes to share with us. We're looking at his or her, the teacher's emphasis on mathematics initiatives, consistent use of effective practices to deliver high-quality mathematics instruction. We're looking at promotion of mathematics in their school, his or her school, in order to raise the profile of the subject. We're looking for their use of student performance data to drive their instruction, and the esteem that they acquire of their stakeholders. So how are they with their peers in their institutions of reference? So as we get ready for St. Catherine High, they look nicey? Yes. As we get ready for them, I want you to keep those criteria in mind as we journey together to find out who will be our Mathematics Teacher of the Year.
There's a great camp meeting. tire, shout and never tire, shout and never tire, shout and never tire. There's a great camp meeting in the promised land. Oh, walk on, children, don't you get weary. Sing on, my children, don't you get weary. Just a shout on, children, don't you get weary. There's a great, there's a great, there's a great camp meeting in the promised land.
Crisp, clear, and heavenly. Please give them another round of applause. I see Mrs. Blackwood Graham clapping, and anybody who knows her knows that she knows good singing of a choir. So if anybody else feels the gratitude like Mrs. Blackwood Grant, you know that they have done a good job. Really, really excellent delivery and performance from our students this morning. Wow, awesome. It's a good way to segue into the next part of our program, which sees our sponsor, a sponsor which we have retained and maintained from 2013, coming to address us in the person of Mrs. Sandra Jones. She is the manager, public sector engagement of Jamaica National Bank, and representing the bank that has continued to give us the funding to support this initiative. Please make her welcome.
Mrs. Maureen Dyer, Acting Permanent Secretary, Minister of Education and Youth, Dr. Kasson Troop, Acting Chief Executive, Chief Education Officer in the Ministry of Education and Youth, Dr. Tamika Benjamin, National Mathematics Coordinator, all specially invited guests, amazing finalists in the National Mathematics Teacher of the Year 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Data has become the sum of our lives. It is essential to our communication systems, our businesses, and economic trade, and even our socialization. And while it is available to everyone, what separates countries and peoples and determines our collective successes in this modern global village is our ability to harness it, analyze it, and strategically utilize it to solve problems. In essence, perhaps more than any other time in our human development, our lives are dependent on the constant use of logic. Not just simply for day-to-day reasoning and decisions, but in factorial proportions to drive our economies. We are forced to be intentional about harvesting talent and training entire pools of people who can make meaning of the world of data and engineer solutions to our challenges. We need problem solvers, and in order to identify and garner them, it is true that we must begin with the lowest common factor, our natural gifts for problem solving as Jamaicans, and support of our people to overcome their socialized fear of mathematics. And to achieve this, we need to identify a team of people who will inspire us, people who will coach and motivate us, helping us to recognize that what has been hindering us all along is doubting our innate abilities. And that's why, as a fierce proponent of the development of the Jamaican people, education transformation has been a long-standing cause for the Jamaica National brand for decades, because education is that light that will ignite our individual and collective human potential. In the final analysis, it heavily influences what we believe as a people, how we behave, how we perceive the world, who we become, and ultimately what we achieve. Which is why, therefore, next to the hands that rock the cradle, our teachers' hands are the ones that shape the world. My personal experience is testimony to this. Just imagine having a 6-year-old who is not operating at his or her level. My daughter's abilities, they were locked. She was not functioning. Just say the word mathematics and she freaked. But today I can stand there and declare that it was a teacher who unlocked her abilities. So I had to change her from the school she was attending on a recommendation from a friend of mine, and she got her into Dunrobin Primary. And there was a teacher there who took those underperforming students. And with her intervention, long and short of the story is, she left Dunrobin Primary with an average, a GSAT average of 94.5%. She went to Immaculate and she made the honor roll, first, second, and third form. She went to UWI, she made the Dean's List. She graduated with upper second class honors. Ladies and gentlemen, it could not have happened without our teachers. So let's give them an applause this morning. When you believe in us and we respond, then we achieve. At this end, as Jamaica National transitioned from the Centers of Excellence School Leadership Program, an initiative we developed and led alongside Victoria Mutual from 2005 to 2010 to transform the outcome of 6 non-traditional high schools, we joined with Dr. Tamika Benjamin and the Ministry of Education on their mission in 2013 to turn around the teaching of mathematics and to celebrate those who bring life to the subject in our classrooms. Because, ladies and gentlemen, mathematics is life, as we know. It is at its core the very logic of the everyday decision we make. Over 10 years, interrupted only by the pandemic, we have been proud of the annual National Mathematics of Teacher of the Year initiative, which has clearly demonstrated that there is no deficit of quality education in our schools, even those we often classify as non-traditional. This has been made evident through this competition by the many teachers from so-called non-traditional high schools and also from primary schools who have often emerged atop the competition. There are many awesome teachers doing great work and adding tremendous value. And with further support, they can take our students beyond the data clouds. It is clear that this targeted focus on mathematics teaching and learning over the past decades have been yielding results and making a difference. Although the learning loss experienced during the pandemic has left our teachers and Dr. Benjamin and her team with much work to do to regain ground. The finalists here this morning are, however, testament that our teachers remain committed and continue to get it right, even during a pandemic that shut down several school plans. My only hope is that along the way we have managed to carefully document and preserve what they have been doing, using the technology to capture their efforts in the classroom, whether on Zoom or in person, so that we can have the opportunity to not just look back and refine the approaches, but have their recordings as resources to share with other teachers for inspiration and learning. Should another pandemic bring the world to a halt, at least we have examples of how great teachers overcame it to achieve great results. Finalists, my heartiest congratulations to all of you, those in the top 5 and the regional finalists. No matter who is named the Mathematics Teacher of the Year today, be conscious that your impact as individuals is already a legacy of unfold proportion that can never, and I repeat, never be discounted. Stay committed, and together you will help our country find its way to one day emerge as the Silicon Valley of the Caribbean. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Jones, for those remarks. And congratulations to your daughter, too, on the achievement that she has been able to reach, as Mrs. Jones indicated, not only because of her support as a mommy, but also because of a teacher. We're powerful people, aren't we? And all of us can't go. Some of us have to stay. Some of us have to continue to fight on the front lines and to deliver excellence. And that is what our finalists have demonstrated today, that they have stayed and they have continued to deliver excellence. I'm going to invite, in the person of Dr. Cassan Troop, to bring some remarks on behalf of our permanent secretary, who has sent apologies for her absence today. Dr. Troop serves as Chief Education Officer, but she's the ministry's cheerleader and marketing officer as well, on the front lines every day to make sure that the communication with regard to all matters related to teaching and learning are at the forefront. Please make her welcome.
Thank you so much, Madam Moderator. Good morning, everyone. I have much to celebrate today as I bring remarks on behalf of our Permanent Secretary Acting, who is unable to be here, and also our Minister, who is unable to be here. Today's Cabinet, if you know the operations of the country, every Monday morning the Cabinet or the executive of the country meets. You know the three arms of government, and so my minister, our minister, is unable to be here. Let me greet our moderator. Let me greet Dr. Tamika Benjamin and the team from the math unit, our specialists, our coaches. I don't know what we would do without you. I've had the opportunity to interact with several of you. I've seen your spaces that you're not necessarily comfortable with, but you continue to give of yourself. I am so, so proud of you, and I deeply appreciate what you continue to do. Mrs. Forbes-All, my deputy acting, my strong support over a couple of recent weeks, she has been thrust into the opportunity to serve at a higher level, and she has been tremendous support for me, and I just want to greet you and welcome you. I see my other team members, our regional directors, Mr. Kelly, I see you, Yashika, I see you, and I see our senior education officers, Dr. Williams and teams. I see Susan and others, colleagues. I really want to greet you from the bottom of my heart and to express my deep appreciation for always turning up. You know, I know we have our principals in the space. I know we have our students. St. Catherine High School, how are you? I see you, sir, teacher, always delivering. And just listening to you, I said to my colleague right there, that's a teacher, because that's not ordinary singing. That's training. Can we celebrate them this morning? So, so proud of them. Of course, our nominees this morning, you're the reason for us gathering here. We want to recognize your service. And as Dana said earlier, everybody can leave, but you stayed, and that alone means so much to us because of what you continue to do every day. Let's celebrate our nominees, colleagues. All other specially invited guests in the audience, let me just greet you. I want to start off with where Mrs. Jones ended, our sponsor. She really validated the work of teachers by sharing her own story of the journey with her own daughter. Sometimes we don't understand our impact until we hear testimonies like this. Sometimes you feel we don't feel with you at the Central Ministry. But I want us to understand the context of our work. This is bigger than all of us. As teachers, we are serving a nation. We are unearthing talents. We are helping persons to dream and dream big. And in the bigger context, we are transforming the social and economic realities of our country. That's what we do every day. And here we have this morning a testimony and a strong validation from the private sector of your work. Colleagues, let's celebrate our teachers. Clap them and thank you. Mrs. Jones, I greet you well and I thank you for the testimony. We appreciate the sharing because we don't get the motivation from time to time. Sometimes we are fixated on the difficulties of life and on the salaries and so forth. And that's a reality of our teachers. But when we understand the difference that we make every single day in the life of a child, it's the bigger picture. And I too could share my own story. You could not leave this function today if I started, but I'm telling you, I'm standing here because of the love and commitment of my teachers. They saw something in me I could not see, and they got me to believe. And so today I can stand in my own agency. That's what you do every day. So in bringing remarks, colleagues, I want to thank you first and foremost for sticking and staying with Jamaica, for continuing to serve, for continuing to unearth talents, and for dreaming with us. I want to thank the organizers for the vision for us to be celebrating our teachers. Just before this, we celebrated our Teacher of the Year and our Principal of the Year. And today we are going deeper into a specific area. And why have we done so over the years? Our data have told us that we are not doing well in the areas of literacy and numeracy. It's not something that we are proud of. And if we reflect on our recent data on literacy in our PEP exam and numeracy, even at the CSEC level, and of course we are coming out of the pandemic, but it has not been something excellent that we can boast about. And when I look at the data previous to the pandemic, we only were able to realize as a country basically 10,000 students of a cohort of a minimum of 37 students every year that we send out of our system. We could only see 10,000 of those students passing with math and English and 3 other subjects at bare minimum. So we are not looking good, and we have the largest budget. So when I tell you that I am perplexed each night, it's an understatement, because I don't feel satisfied knowing that this is what we can stand and boast about. We recognize the challenges of education. Several variables impact us. Where our students are coming from, the commitment of parents, the contribution of parents, and of course our teachers, etc. So there are many things that we are not necessarily in control of, and so we still have to redouble our efforts. So when we talk about reigniting the flame, lighting up our world, it's a deliberate theme, because we have to go back to the drawing board so we can get returns on our investment. This year we are spending almost $120 billion in education. And if you know, we are in the salary review, and so the budget is going to go up further. And when we dissect that budget, we are spending over 80% on the human resource and the payments for staff, be it at the school level, at the national level. Over 80% of that is spent on the human resource. So we have to get returns from that. So today we celebrate the human resource. We pause to say thanks for the sacrifices, thanks for the excellence and the innovation. And it's not just to stop there. It is our hope in the ministry that this service of recognition will be an opportunity to inspire others. It's not just to pause and say thanks. We want others to see you standing in your own agency and your excellence and be inspired by that. So the work continues. We replicate the successes on and on and on. That's the dream. That's the plan of the ministry. So colleagues, I want you to dream with me. I want you to remain committed. We have a responsibility not only to provide equity and to provide quality, but to stand for justice for all learners. We talk about the differences in our learners. We can't be complaining about just the ideal. Oh, we're not getting the students where we want them. We are getting the students, and we are going to be deliberate to teach at the right level. If it means that we deviate from the curriculum, that's okay. That's what we do. So this is what this opportunity is about. How do we springboard? How do we reignite? How do we light up our world? We do so by recognizing the level of our students and our determination to teach at their level. Let's not be pretentious. We have to be conscious that we are coming out of a pandemic. We have to be conscious that it was never the ideal before the pandemic. But colleagues, we need you. We celebrate you. We appreciate you. And today, as we are educators, as former teacher myself, and once a teacher, always a teacher, I used to be in the classroom, we have to redouble our efforts, because we are on a plan, a thrust, not just for equity, but a thrust for justice for every learner in this country. So that's what mathematics is all about. Problem solving, decision making, data finding, analysis, being familiar and loving what it says to you when you look at that data, and having our students inspired to feel the same. Colleagues, I want to thank you. On behalf of our minister, I want to encourage you, don't give up on Jamaica. I know there are other looming opportunities that will come. And whilst I don't believe that you should not take a decision in your best interest, I'm also asking you to always think about the greater good. And if you are able to stay and make Jamaica land we love a place of choice to live, raise our families, and do business, I want you to choose Jamaica with me. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, our nominees, and I look forward to celebrating with the ultimate winner, notwithstanding that all of you are winners this morning. Let's clap our nominees again. Colleagues, I greet you well, and I'm looking forward to coming back next year and to talk about the successes of this inspiration when we can leapfrog the data that will come out of our summative exams, be it PEP, be it CSEC, be it CAPE. We're looking forward when I can tell you that we can boast about the returns on investment, the expenditure that we have committed to education. Hold me to that, coaches, hold me to that, my students. We are on a path of justice for all learners. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. True, for those passionate remarks. I hope you heard the themes in what she shared with us today. The first being that you're valuable. Each of us that serves as teachers and as educators, you are valuable. She spoke also about the vision, the big dream to get us beyond where we are in our performance in mathematics to a higher level. And she's asking, and I'm repeating, that we need to stay. All of us can't go, colleagues. Some of us have to stay because the nation's future, sustainability, depends on you. It's my pleasure to welcome again our singers as members of the choir of St. Catherine High School. They're going to come again to give us another soulful rendition, crisp, clear, and beautiful. So I'm asking you once again to make them welcome. You know, as Dr. Troop spoke just now, a little song that we used to sing, we don't sing it anymore. We don't sing much anymore at school. It only takes a spark. You remember that little song? To get a fire going? Okay, I hope he's not playing it for me to sing this morning. Or maybe we should while they come. Are they coming now? Yes. Nice, 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 can done. I'm telling you. Well done, St. Catherine High. And to the players of the instruments as well, I hope you saw them. On the bass and the drums. Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing with us this morning. It's now time to get into the presentation of the awards. I know that's the moment that a special section of our audience has been waiting on. Before we get into the presentation of the awards, though, I'm going to invite Dr. Tamika Benjamin to join us here at the podium. She's going to be giving us an overview of the Mathematics Teacher of the Year competition. What are the rigors that the teachers had to find themselves through to be able to be at this point? After that, we'll get into the award ceremony with the presentation of the awards. So I'm going to ask our regional educational officers to get ready for the presentation of those awards, and we'll continue to the end of our program with the presentation of the highlight, which is the Mathematics Teacher of the Year Award for 2023. So Dr. B, please come.
Mrs. Daniel Facey, our moderator for this morning, Dr. Kassan Troop, our acting Chief Education Officer, who always brings so much energy with her, to Mrs. Sophia Forbes Hall, our acting Deputy Chief Education Officer, Mrs. Sandra Jones, Manager Public Sector Engagement from our sponsors, JN Bank, to all our regional educational directors, to all our regional mathematics coordinators, our specialists and coaches, members of the National Mathematics Planning Committee, and other staff members of the Ministry of Education and Youth, and our principals, teachers, parents, and students, and our awardees. Good morning to you all. Good morning to you all. It's really a pleasure seeing you here. It's been a while since we were last able to have our awards ceremony, and so it's really a pleasure being here this morning. So in 2012, as the Ministry of Education and Youth sought to revamp the National Mathematics Program, the Ministry planned for the celebration of the first National Mathematics Week. The week of activities was designed to highlight the importance of mathematics to all Jamaicans as a first but critical step to changing the culture surrounding the subject in the Jamaican context. And I think we all know that mathematics is a subject that many of our students and parents, and I'll whisper, teachers, sometimes fear. This was a critical part of the ministry's strategy, as due to the central role that mathematics plays in supporting learning of other subjects, such as science and even social studies and music, which we saw on display here this morning, and the arts. This subject has a critical role in playing in building the mental discipline and encouraging logical reasoning and mental rigor in our students. The week of activities would normally include the National Mathematics Expo, which would be staged here on the grounds of the University of the West Indies Mona campus. And that event would have seen significant growth over the years. When we first started in 2013, we would have had 1,500 participants. And when we last staged the event in 2019, before the onset of the pandemic, we would have seen over 8,000 students and teachers participating in that event. Today, as we launch National Mathematics Week 2023, we are also we culminate the 8th staging of the Mathematics Teacher of the Year competition. We are also making a shift this year and moving away from this large national event to staging 7 regional events across the island during the course of this week. And the aim is to really bring the activities closer to home, closer to our teachers, closer to our students, and hopefully to facilitate even greater numbers participating in those activities. The National Mathematics Teacher of the Year competition is designed to identify teachers who are excelling in the math classroom, using practices and strategies which support meaningful learning and enjoyment of the subject. The competition therefore places emphasis on the teacher's consistent use of effective practices to deliver high-quality mathematics instruction, the promotion of mathematics in his or her school in order to raise the profile of the subject, the development and implementation of mathematics initiatives at the school level, and the teacher's proven ability to work with students who are performing at any level. In the 2022-2023 staging of the competition, during round 1, the nomination of teachers and the selection of regional semi-finalists was facilitated. During this phase, we saw 50 nominations being received across all 7 regions. Nominees were drawn from both primary and secondary schools, and by virtue of the nature of the competition, we have never sought to delineate a primary versus secondary winner, because we have always said good math teaching is good math teaching regardless of the level of the system you are at. We had 2 nominees from Region 1, 22 nominees from Region 2, 5 nominees from Region 3. I think we need to give Region 2 a clap for that. 22 nominees. 5 from Region 3, 4 from Region 4, 6 from Region 5, 4 from Region 6, and 7 from Region 7. Based on the scores received from the nomination process, 49 candidates were able to move on as regional semi-finalists because they received the minimum 70% or more of the available marks. These 49 semi-finalists were then observed teaching a mathematics lesson in an announced visit by a team of judges. From this process, the top 15 candidates were identified, and these persons advanced to round 2. During this round, they were observed teaching a second lesson by a consistent panel of 3 judges, and this was another announced visit. The panel would have consisted of 3 members of the National Mathematics team, and the finalists were also interviewed in an effort to explore their understanding of critical matters related to the teaching and learning of mathematics, including strategies that are effective in supporting students facing challenges in the mathematics classroom. The scores for the lesson observation and the interview were weighted and added in order to determine the winner for each region. Now, while we would have identified a regional winner from this process, the 5 candidates who advanced as national finalists would have been the persons with the top 5 scores. And so, but this year, however, I think we had a tie, and so we have 6 national finalists. In the 3rd and final round, each national finalist was observed teaching a lesson, again by the same panel of judges, and these visits were scheduled just 1 day in advance to limit the amount of time they would have had to prepare. Once the lesson observations were completed, all 6 candidates were asked to make a 15-minute presentation focused on strategies which could be included in a mathematics intervention plan designed to provide targeted support for underperforming students in mathematics in their school. The presentations were made to a panel of judges, which included a representative from the Jamaica National Bank, the competition's sponsor, and a mathematics teacher educator. The scores from the lesson observation and the presentation were weighted and totaled to determine the 2023 Mathematics Teacher of the Year. Before announcing the winner for this year, I'd like to pause to highlight that while we continue to see evidence of gaps in the content, knowledge, and pedagogical competencies of our teachers on the ground, there is evidence of growth, as a team of judges observed some effective practices with greater levels of frequency amongst the nominees. This included the use of mathematics discourse to drive instruction. We saw many more of our teachers being more deliberate to pose purposeful questions and giving students the opportunity to think critically. This is a significant positive shift which will play a role in transforming the experience of many Jamaican students in the mathematics classroom. I'm sorry Dr. Flowers isn't here, but we also saw a significant shift in the use of the 5E tenets that are embedded in the national standards curriculum. And so that's something that we also need to congratulate our teachers for as well. And the use of guided questions to elicit responses from our students. The Ministry of Education and Youth congratulates all the regional and national finalists. We want to thank Jamaica National for its continued support and commitment to this competition, and the ministry's efforts to improve the profile and the teaching and learning of mathematics in Jamaica. So we move now into the awards ceremony. You will help me? Sure. All right. So we can alternate and then.
Special awards, I think you start with
Right.
those first.
Okay. You announce those. Sorry. I asked Dr. Troop. All right. So I'm going to ask Dr. Troop if she can join us on stage briefly. We're going to announce 2 special awards that we'll be making this year.
And these special awards are for finalists who would have displayed student-centeredness in their lesson delivery and preparation, as well as the strength of the conceptual drive of their lessons. So at this time, we want to welcome 2 special awardees. But Doc, can you join us on stage to present these 2 awards?
So you do the first one and
So for the most student-centered lesson, it is my pleasure to invite Mrs. Shanna K. Cook Green. She's from Region 3. Yes, for the most student-centered lesson.
This is a region of trailblazers.
Yes, congratulations.
And for the most conceptually driven lesson, Mr. Garnet Brooks from Region 6.
This is the region that inspires and nurtures.
You break it. You broke it up. Oh, we use up the ears.
Region 6 and Region 3. Congratulate Mr. Brooks for me, please. Thank you so much, Dr. Troop, for presenting this award. I'm going to invite, at this time, the Regional Director Acting for Region 2, Mrs. Yashika Blackwood Grant, to join me on stage. We're moving into the presentation of the regional finalists awards, and these individuals, Dr. Benjamin, would have.
Oh, these were the sorry. These were the individuals who emerged from round 1 with. These were the individuals who came out on top from round 1. Right. I think it's the top 2 or 3. Go ahead.
Right. So from Region 2, we have Tanya Dawkins from Port Antonio High School. She's making her way up. Congratulations to you. Second, we have Delia Patterson Burton from Region 2. Congratulations, ladies. Come, Mrs. Patterson Burton. And also from Region 2, Mrs. Herma Smith Williams.
Thank you, Mrs. Blackwood Grant. Now invite Mrs. Fiona Morris-Webb to help us by presenting to the regional finalists from Region 3. And then afterwards, we'll be asking Mrs. Nelson. Is she still here with us? And then Mr. Kelly. So maybe we can alert them, and Dr. Williams. Okay, so for Region 3, Ms. Beryl Wilson from Keith Primary and Infant. Not here. And we also had Georgia Samuels Codner, also from Keith Primary and Infant. Okay. You're going to collect?
Yeah, collecting in there. Yes.
Yeah, man. Okay, so one of our coaches will collect on their behalf. And we also have from Region 3, Mrs. Shanake Cook-Green from Charlton Primary.
Mrs. Nelson, please do not sit.
Thank you, Mrs. Morris-Webb.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Morris-Webb. Now for Region 4, we have two finalists, one from Anchovy High School in the person of Mr. Vince Roy Salmon. Please come and receive. Representing his school quite well, isn't he? We also have from Region 4, Mrs. Davia Sams England. She's from Barracks Road Primary. Traveled all the way from Region 4. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mrs. Nelson. Now we invite, oh, no, not yet, Mrs. Nelson. Sorry. From Region 5, Mr. Garfrey Robinson from Brompton Primary. Ms. Shelley-Ann Stevens from Red Bank Primary. And Miss Donnelly Seaton from Christiana Least Primary.
I'm going to invite Dr. Ewan Williams to make the final round of presentations to our regional winners. These are the winners from Region 6 and 7. Thank you so much, Dr. Williams. So from Region 6, we have Miss Shaveen Harrison. She's from Guys Hill High School. And also from Region 6, Mr. Garnett Brooks, the Cedar Grove Academy.
From Region 7, Mr. Ruhope or Miss Ruhope Anderson from Frankfield Primary and Infants. And Mrs. Sandra Miller Grant from Long Look Primary.
Okay, so as Dr. Benjamin has indicated, these persons that we've just awarded were those that would have made it to the second round of the competition. And so we do have some, yes, thank you so much, Dr. Williams. We do have some regional winners now from this shortlisted list. So regional winners that we'd like to award. And so at this time, I'm going to ask Mrs. Sophia Forbes Hall if she would grace us with her presence up here to present the awards to each of the regional finalists. So, from Region 2, the winner of the Regional Award for 2023, of the 3 names that I have here, we have one winner from Region 2. She's from Port Morant Primary and Junior High, Mrs. Herma Smith Williams. The region that cares, yes. Region 2, congratulations.
From Region 3, Mrs. Shanna K. Cook Green from Charlton Primary School.
That's the region of the Trailblazers. She's going to need a Brinks truck to take home her prizes after this, huh? Wonderful, I know. Wonderful. From Region 4, from Anchovy High School, Vince Roy Salmon. Region of Innovators.
And from Region 5, Ms. Donnelly Seaton from Christiana Least Primary School. The Region of Champions. Oh, that person wasn't here. I don't think Ms. Seaton was here.
Yes.
So we move to Region 6, Mr. Garnett Brooks from the Cedar Grove Academy. The region that nurtures and inspires greatness.
And from Region 7, from Frankfield Primary School, Miss Ruhope Anderson. Ladies and gentlemen, please give each of the finalists at the regional level a round of applause.
So, as mentioned before, although these are our regional finalists, when we looked at all the scores, the top 6 became our national finalists. And so we want to award our national finalists at this time, and we're going to invite Dr. Kassan Troop to join us for those awards. And we're presenting them in no order, no particular order. We're just going to stick to our region approach for our national finalists. From Region 2, Miss Tanya Dawkins from Port Antonio High School.
Also from Region 2, Mrs. Delia Patterson Burton, Paisley Primary School. Also from the region that cares, am I right? Yes.
And then Region 2 again with Miss Harma Smith Williams from Port Moran Primary School.
Yes.
For the other regions. Right, Dr. Williams?
Region 3, Shanna K. Cook Green from Charlton Primary. She's a national finalist, ladies and gentlemen. Region 3 from Charlton Primary School.
And from Region 4, Mr. Vince Troy Salmon from Anchovy High School.
The men are doing well, aren't they? It's good to see them. And last but not least, in terms of our national finalists, we have the man himself again from Cedar Grove Academy, Mr. Garnett Brooks. Wonderful. So you have seen the regional, you have seen the national, so I know you're eager for something special. Thank you, Dr. Troop.
No, Dr. Troop stays. Dr. Troop.
There's a video presentation that we are to be privy to. So I'm going to invite Dr. Troop just to wait for a little so that we can show this video presentation. You have 2 monitors here in front of you, just to give you a little idea of the winners that we've had in the past. And then it will be my pleasure to announce to you the winner of the 2023 National Mathematics Teacher of the Year Award. So let's roll the video presentation.
Entering the 2020 National Math Teacher of the Year competition was nerve-wracking, but a dream becoming a reality. This competition has helped me to assist my students in finding the why in math. Why do I need to learn these concepts? Why do I need to do math? During this competition, I taught math in context, which led to conceptual understanding. Though time-consuming, it made a big difference in the classroom, and the students' attitude positively changed toward the subject. Transitioning online was easy for me because of this competition. I moved from physical to virtual manipulative, where students were able to explore the world of math. Teachers, it can be done. I encourage you to let us continue to make a positive change in the way our students perceive math. How we teach math can make a difference. Teachers, let us help our students to discover the why in math and teach with conceptual understanding. Math counts. Happy Math Week.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. I can imagine how the finalists are feeling, and they are wondering, will my name be called today as the National Mathematics Teacher of the Year awardee for 2023? But I'm going to ask them to just hold up their nerves a little bit longer. And it look like the coaches are more nervous than they are. But I'm going to invite back Dr. Troop to join us, as well as our sponsor, Mrs. Sandra Jones. And I'm going to also ask Dr. Benjamin to join us here, because you see how the trophy big and heavy? It is indeed big and heavy, because to carry on the tradition of such an illustrious award is really a noteworthy achievement. So is it going to be from Region 6 this year? Oh, no, it doesn't sound like it at all. Don't. What about Region 4? No, I don't think so. What about 5? I don't think so either. Not so sure. What about 2? I see Region 2 is loud and proud in here this morning. What about Region 3? Oh my goodness. No, we haven't told you what they're winning yet, Dr. B. You know, I'm just trying to build a little thing here, and you know, Dr. B is really rushing me, you know. But I want to let you know, colleagues, that the winnings of this award, the winner of this award, my apology, will be leaving here not only with a huge trophy, huge, but also an all-expense trip paid on behalf of Jamaica National, or from Jamaica National to the NCTM. I'm telling you, I don't teach math, and I would like to know to go to that. And also a tablet, right, courtesy of our sponsors as well. So we have trophy, we have trip, and we have tablet. They are well awarded this morning. I understand that the trophy is very heavy, so they're telling me to hurry up and announce the winner of the National Mathematics Teacher of the Year Award for 2023 is Miss Tanya Dawkins from Port Antonio High School, Region 2. Wow. Congratulations. She can hardly bring herself to collect the award. Let's get the photographs. Done? Yes. Congratulations. Region. Region 2. Yes. Yes, Region 2. Taking home the trophy this year. And they had the most, remember the most nominees? Region 2. The most finalists? Region 2. And this year, the champion. The champion is here from Region 2. Congratulations. Wow, go Region 2. The region that cares. And they're not only caring, they're teaching. And teaching mathematics very, very well. Congratulations to you. And I invite her at this time. She has just been handed a folder to give her response as the Mathematics Teacher of the Year 2023.
Okay, give me a minute to compose myself. All right. Master of Ceremony, Mistress Dania Facey. Dr. Tamika Benjamin, National Mathematics Coordinator at the Ministry of Education. Mistress Sandra Jones, Manager, Public Sector Engagement at the JN Bank. Dr. Kassan True, Chief Education Officer, acting in the Ministry of Education and Youth. Regional Directors, Mathematics Specialists, Mathematics Coaches, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Region 2, Portland, Port Antonio High, good afternoon. This day, March 27, 2023, has taught me that it is not the start of a journey that is important, but it is the process leading up to the final product. It is the passion, the desire to make an impact and to see change that drives us to be the best version of ourselves. If you had asked me 15 years ago if today's reality would have been possible, the answer would have been a definite no. Time, experience, and the power outside of ourselves can completely transform us. The truth is, it has transformed Tanya from that shy, timid young girl to who I am today. I am thinking that many people who participated in this competition would have entered, or maybe would have agreed to be entered. However, in my case, I was entered into this competition unknowingly. Miss Roper or Miss Nash may be able to speak to that. Today, I stand before you with a deep sense of humility. And yes, my eyes are beginning to get teary. Yet, there's a feeling of honor, excitement, and indescribable joy to be named the mathematics teacher for 2023. Thank you so much for this opportunity. This is a testament to everyone out there that you can do it. The journey thus far has been rich and rewarding, with many valuable lessons learned. Other finalists, I am sure you can all attest that the journey has been rich, even in the moments when we had to do a little self-talk. We had to say, nerves, I've got this in control. I will not allow you to cause me any shaking. Congratulations to you all. We have all done well. The fact that we are here in the final round of this competition speaks volume. Without reservation, I can say that math counts. Can you ever begin to imagine a world without mathematics? Well, I knew you would not be able to, because such a world does not exist. As the named mathematics teacher for the year 2023, I'm availing myself to be a member of the team that will seek to reignite and in some cases ignite the passion of mathematics among the students I interact with. How can this be done? I will continue to use engaging and fun ways to impart the subject to students, ensuring that learning is student-centered and real to life, allowing for them to see the application of mathematics in their daily lives. The intention is for students to see and accept that math counts. This will not be a drastic one-off initiative, but will be done in stages. And the place to begin is influenced by the statement, you have to learn to dance a yard before you dance abroad. And so, Port Antonio High School will be the launching pad, where various interventions proposed for catering to students who are underperforming in mathematics will be implemented. Gratitude is high on my list because this day would not have been made possible without the hard work and support of a number of persons. Firstly, thanks to God for strength, for his leading, and for directly taking charge of my life. Thanks to the Ministry of Education for this grand initiative. You have truly provided the opportunity for teachers of mathematics to gain exposure, to be recognized, and to etch in memory this unforgettable moment. To the Jamaica National Bank, thanks for having such vested interest in education and for these lovely tokens. We appreciate. Thanks to my family and friends for giving me unwavering support, your prayers being my tower of strength, your encouraging words, and for believing in me at every step of the journey. To my school family, Port Antonio High, headed by Principal Mr. Basil Graham, thank you for your prayers and your support. Mr. Graham, you always knew what to say, to put the laughter on my face, or to keep me calm in the toughest part of this journey. Vice Principals, Ms. Henry and Mr. Slogan, thank you for your interest and your reassuring words. My math coach, Mistress Suzette Simpson McNeil, best math coach ever. HOD Miss Julene Roper, thank you both for pushing me, for supporting me, and for believing in me. The mathematics department at the Port Antonio High School. This is the start of many more to be added. Thank you. And last, but by no means least, to the primary stakeholders, our children, the Port Antonio High School students, thank you. This one is for us. I love you all, and again I say thank you.
It seems like she had rehearsed that speech many times before. She was ready to receive her award, and again we congratulate her, Miss Tanya Dawkins, National Mathematics Teacher of the Year, 2023. Coming to the end of our program, and it is time to say thanks. So I'm going to invite at this time Mr. Horace Donaldson, Regional Mathematics Coordinator from Region 3, to take the lectern and say thanks to all the persons that have made this event possible.
Before I say thanks, can I just congratulate Ms. Tanya Dawkins? For the formality, let me address the Master of Ceremonies, Mrs. Dana Facey, our EO, Education Officer in Planning and Development Unit, Dr. Kassan Troop, our Chief Education Officer acting in the Ministry of Education and Youth, Mrs. Sophia Forbes-Hall, Deputy Chief Education Officer acting, and can I say at this moment, Mrs. Forbes-Hall, redemption is here. Dr. Tamika Benjamin, National Math Coordinator, Ms. Sandra Jones, Manager Public Sector Engagement from the JN Bank, our RDs, our Regional Math Coordinators, our cluster-based math specialists, our coaches, planning team, awardees, principals, teachers, students, and everybody else. Good morning. I think it's still morning. Good morning. Let me thank Ms. Meeks for the prayer. I did not get the prayer, but you all got it, and I think you are better off with it. Mrs. Forbes-Hall, our Chief Deputy Education Officer, we thank you for your welcome. We thank the St. Catherine High School for the songs. I got one, Never Get Weary. Is that correct? Is that correct? Never Get Weary? Okay, great. And Dr. Troop, I listened to your words. And when I thought about your words, I thought about the many times when us as members of the Ministry of Education would have found ourselves in a hotel dining room. There are restrictions there where you can eat as much as you want, but you dare not take any out. So when we leave with a lot of food in our stomach and a lot on our mind. But today, when we listen to what you say, we know we could take all we want on our platter, be it a phone or whatever device. And I had my platter. It was old school, a notebook. And I took notes. So it's not just on my mind. I took it out of the room. I have it here, and I will leave with it. You said to us, Dr. Troop, that justice for all students. That's what you want. And we anticipate that the big dreams for math will turn a reality soon. I am going to ask you a question at the end. How can we get the big dream to be real? But let me continue. Dr. Tamika Benjamin, as usual, our math coordinator, so committed. You have helped us to stage the 8th staging of the Math Teacher of the Year competition. And I am happy this year, Mrs. Forbes-Hall, that you were able to shake the hand of our finalists from Region 3. You would have missed that opportunity some year ago. This is why I call it redemption. Dr. Troop and Dr. Benjamin, you are in front, and seated in between you both is our DCO, Mrs. Forbes-Hall. The three of you have a duty. The theme, reigniting the math flame, light up your world, requires action. And as I prepare to make the request, I am thinking of some virgins. 5 were wise, 5 were foolish. The ones who were foolish because they were waiting for the bridegroom to come. And they all had oil in the beginning, but the bridegroom delayed, and the delay was a little too long. And so when the celebration time came, 5 of them woke up with the other 5, but found that their tank was empty. For too long, the math bus is operating on an empty tank. A very empty tank. Come on, drivers. We have been driving an empty tank. And so as I thank you for inspiring us and promising us that the big dreams will come true, we want you to, not fill in, that is proper English, to full the math tank. Make the math tank be full so that when the bridegroom comes, whoever that is, 2030 vision, or whoever comes and asks us for what we have accomplished, we can stand up because we have something to celebrate, because our tank is full. So we can stand up, and when we hold our lamps, our candles, we'll be able to light it. Because that's the only way we are going to reignite the math flame and light up your world. I thank you all for coming out today, for the Math Teacher of the Year winner, the principals who have come out to celebrate with them, and for all of you who are here to celebrate Math Week 2023. Thank God we're out of COVID, so we can be together in a real place celebrating math in real time as well. I thank you all, and may God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Donaldson, for your vote of thanks. We have reached the end of a wonderful staging of our award ceremony, and it is my pleasure to sign out at this time as your Master of Ceremonies or moderator, just to give you a little sneak peek into what's happening for the rest of Math Week. Tomorrow, we have regional mathematics activities in regions 1 and 3. On the 29th, we have a 30-minute radio program on Nationwide News Network at 4 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. On the 29th, also in the 5th floor conference room, we'll be talking with some parents that have been specially invited, and this will be at the Ministry of Education headquarters, Building 1, 5th floor, between 5:30 p.m. and 6:45 p.m. And this event will be streamed, so look out for the link. Also on the 29th, Region 5 will be having their regional mathematics activities. On the 30th, regional mathematics activities will be held in regions 2, 6, and 7. And on the 31st, we'll be having a STEM Novation Village. A different thing this year, STEM Novation Village. And this will be right here at the Assembly Hall, University of the West Indies, beginning at 9 a.m. So quite a number of activities for you to partake in. Please do not hesitate to join us at one of these activities and continue to, as our theme suggests, reignite math, the math flame, and light up your world. Thank you. There are some refreshments at the back which we ask you to partake in. So please feel free to make your way down to a station and refresh yourself. There are a few photographs to be taken and those can be done in the meantime. Thank you.